The atmosphere in the room grows tense as Eli nervously recounts the chilling events he's been experiencing. The unsettling whispers coming from his basement, the fear that grips him each night, and the growing sense that he's not alone in his home. As he speaks, his listeners are left on the edge of their seats, desperate to know what will happen next. Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. Today, we will be reading a creepypasta titled In the Basement by a user. This story has over 40,000 upvotes and almost 500,000 reads. So, without further ado, let's begin. It first started on a Wednesday night. I was in my room reading a book, which I'd set down on my lap when I thought I heard my name being whispered from the basement. Soft and drawn out, like someone was standing just below the floorboards waiting. At first, I told myself it was nothing. The house was old. The pipes moaned, the heater clicked. But it wasn't the house, it was my name. Clear, repeated, almost coaxing. I live alone in a small rental home, one of those narrow two-story places built in the 60s. The basement is unfinished, just bare concrete, exposed beams, and a single dangling light bulb that sways whenever the furnace kicks on. I've never liked going down there, and I don't keep much of anything stored inside, just some boxes from the previous tenants and the laundry machines. That night, I was in the living room scrolling on my phone when I thought I heard something through the vent. I muted the TV and froze. There was a pause. Then again, it came closer. My name. Drawn out in a hushed rasp as if someone was right below me. My chest tightened. I didn't move for a solid minute, straining my ears. I wanted it to be the wind slipping through the ducts, but the way it lingered. It sounded like a man's voice. Careful, deliberate, close. Eventually, I told myself I was tired, hearing things. I went to bed with my headphones and pretending I wasn't unsettled. But the next night it happened again, around 11:30. My name. This time it was softer, but more insistent. Like whoever it was knew I was listening. I didn't sleep much that night. I kept the light on and stared at my bedroom door, half expecting it to creak open. Nothing did. Just silence, heavy and waiting. By the third night, I couldn't deny it anymore. The whisper came like clockwork, always from beneath me, always the same. My name. I finally grabbed a flashlight and decided I had to check. My heart was hammering so loud I could hear it in my ears as I unlocked the basement door. The hinges screamed when I pulled it open, revealing the steep wooden steps leading down into darkness. The air was different down there. Stale, damp, carrying the faint odor of earth. I shone the light around, the cement walls, the stacked boxes, the washer and dryer. Nothing. No footprints, no sign of anyone hiding. I stayed longer than I wanted, sweeping the light into corners, forcing myself to prove it was empty. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was just outside the beam of light, waiting. I shut the door, locked it, and went back upstairs. That night I lay awake for hours. Just before I drifted off, I heard it again. My name. Only this time it didn't sound like it came from below me. It sounded like it was in the vent, closer. By the end of the week, I was breaking. I avoided the basement completely, leaving laundry to pile up. The whispers didn't stop. They grew more frequent, repeating my name again and again, sometimes with a breathy chuckle woven between. I tried drowning it out with music, blasting it through my earbuds until my head hurt, but I always caught it beneath the noise, that faint rasp cutting through everything. Eli, Eli, I see you. The first time it said more than my name, I dropped my phone. My whole body went cold. I couldn't convince myself it was in my head anymore. I started sleeping on the couch with the TV on, too scared to go upstairs, too scared to turn the volume low in case I heard it clearer. My days blurred together. I stopped going into work. I barely ate. Every night I sat in the glow of the television waiting for it. And every night it came. The voice was patient. That's what terrified me most. Whoever or whatever it was, it didn't rush. It just whispered my name like it had all the time in the world. One night I broke down and called my friend. I told him everything, my voice shaking. He didn't laugh, but I could tell he didn't believe me either. He offered to come stay the night, but I told him no. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't want anyone else to hear it. Maybe I knew deep down it was only meant for me. Last night was the worst. I had dozed off on the couch when the sound of something moving jolted me awake. Not the whisper this time. Actual movement. The basement door creaked. I sat up, my throat dry, every muscle locking in place. Through the sliver beneath the door, I saw light. That single bulb in the basement swinging back and forth, shadows shifting against the crack. And then, for the first time, the voice wasn't a whisper. Eli, louder, sharper, like a warning. I bolted to my bedroom, locked the door, and stayed there until morning. When I finally worked up the courage to check, the basement light was off. The door was closed. No footprints, nothing. But I know what I heard. It's quiet now, as I'm telling this. Too quiet. I haven't slept since. Every time I walk past the basement door, I feel it. Something down there, just waiting for me to listen. And I swear if I stand still enough I can hear my name, faint, drifting up from the darkness. So let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer creepiness of this story. From the very beginning, the author does an excellent job of building suspense. The subtle and mysterious whispers coming from the basement immediately create a sense of unease and curiosity. As Eli tries to rationalize the sounds away, the reader is left wondering if he's truly alone in his home or if there's something sinister lurking in the shadows. The story takes a dark turn when the whispers begin to taunt Eli, repeating his name and even interacting with him. The use of sound in this story is particularly effective. The author vividly describes the sound of the whispers changing, becoming louder and more menacing as the story progresses. This creates a sense of urgency and danger, making the reader feel as though they are experiencing the story alongside Eli. As the story reaches its climax, the sense of dread and suspense builds until it's almost unbearable. The final scene with the door opening and the faint light flickering is a masterstroke of horror writing, leaving the reader with a sense of impending doom. Overall, this is a well-written and terrifying story that will leave readers on the edge of their seats. The characters are believable and relatable, and the plot is both suspenseful and shocking. If you enjoyed this story, I highly recommend checking out more content. With its dark and often disturbing themes, this platform is the perfect place to find your next creepy tale. Now, let's move on to our next story.